Hello, this is Heisenberg.
Hey guys, G Forever here.
Yes, and we're going to review Godzilla vs. Kong. Yeah, we're going to get into all the little details. But first, before we do that, just what's your overall takeaway, G Forever?
Yeah, I mean, we've all been waiting 2 years for this, and it was definitely action-packed and quite an adventure. Lots of cool vehicles, some new monsters, and an epic fight, especially the climax battle at the end.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So this, I think, is an action-packed giant monster movie.
High
Really,
budget.
yeah,
Yeah.
really
Yes.
delivers.
Yep.
And so I'm very pleased at how it turned out.
Yep.
But yeah, yeah, there's a lot. So yeah, but let's get into it. Let's
Yeah,
sort of
there's a
like
lot
walk.
going on.
Yeah,
So,
let's walk ourselves through the story,
yep.
and we'll comment as we go. So like it starts out
Yeah.
with on Skull Island, we see Kong, and we see his friend Gia, this
Yep.
young girl, played by Kaylee Hoddle.
Hmm.
Let me say, it's like I was very impressed
Go
with
for a
both
performance.
Kong and
Yep.
with Kaylee Hoddle. So
Mm.
Kaylee Hoddle, I thought did a great job throughout the movie. Like
Hmm.
very expressive, very expressive acting. And then Kong also did a great job throughout the movie. He's
Yeah.
also had a lot of personality. Had some.
Lots of expressions from his facial and even he does sign language. So I think Kylie, I don't know if in real life if she's mute
Yeah,
or
well,
I
she is
think
deaf.
she is deaf.
I don't know if
Okay.
she's mute.
Okay.
I've seen her do interviews where she has not talked. She's just
Yes,
signed.
yes, I noticed that. And but anyway, I think she did a great performance just using sign language throughout the movie and in communicating with Kong. I think, and the motion actor for Kong really, brought out the expression. So it
Yeah, I'm not
was
even
definitely.
sure they did motion capture.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it
Okay.
might have been all
All
computer
CG?
graphics. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm not, but yeah, we'll try to find out more. But yeah,
Yeah.
like Kong had a lot of personality, a lot of intelligence, a lot of emotion.
Yes,
And again,
tons of
that's,
emotion.
oh yeah, and that's I think one of the best parts of the original 1933 movies that
Hmm.
Kong has a lot of emotion. He's very expressive. So I was
Okay,
very
yeah.
glad. Like this, I think
To kind
was
of
very
bring
much
that
in the
back,
spirit of the
the
original
original
movie.
Kong. Yeah.
So I was very pleased with Kong that way. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So they're on
Skull
Kong's on Skull
Island.
Island. Turns
Looks
out,
like Yeah, it looks like Kong's actually looks like Skull Island's been encased as a was it like the outpost facility? The So Kong is actually um just kind of like locked inside,
yeah,
so he
yeah,
can't
yeah.
leave
They're
the
protecting
island.
him. Looks like they
Yeah,
said that they're trying to
protecting him against from Godzilla.
from
Yeah.
Godzilla. They're trying to hide him from Godzilla. Worried about it. So yeah, so
Yeah.
that's Monarch. Monarch's got him encased, which it's like yeah, it's like okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
And then but yeah, yeah, Skull Island looks good. No
Yeah.
new yeah, it's like kind of a like not starts out with a nice day in the life of Kong there.
Yep.
No new like creatures on Skull Island revealed, but that's okay. We
No.
saw a lot of that in Kong Skull Island,
Yeah.
so it's fine. Just
And yeah, it's curious. It looks like Skull Island is outside of that outpost. It looks like there's a torrential downpours. They said something about the storm wiped out all the natives, so it seemed like something happened on Skull Island. Maybe it's in the prequel and the legendary comic books that we can later read about. But yeah, it sounds pretty interesting. We kind of just don't know what really happened from Skull Island till now
yeah, yeah, yeah. Then we go to Apex Cybernetics in
in
Florida,
Florida.
and
Yep.
we see the character Bernie Hayes, played by Brian Tyre Henry, as as a guy that works for Apex Cybernetics.
Yeah.
But he's like thinking they're up to
Conspiracy
something.
theorists,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, conspiracy theorist with his own podcast. He thinks that
Yeah.
Apex is up to something. He's trying to figure out what. And actually, I liked. He was one of my favorite characters,
Yeah, it was very
Bernie.
enjoyable.
He was good. And actually, I looked up the actor. The actor was one of the main characters in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh,
He was
really?
actually the dad, the policeman dad of
Ah.
Miles. So
Oh, wow. So he had an important role.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think so. Yeah, I was impressed by that actor. And
Excellent.
yeah, oh, yeah, and then yeah, so he's like looking into he's creeping around Apex Cybernetics trying to like figure out what they're up to when Godzilla attacks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, and Godzilla's angry, so we
He's
get
very angry
yeah, so we
and
get to see it, and so
yeah.
yeah, I thought it was a good scene of Godzilla attacking. My only
Yes.
takeaway was I wish it was even longer.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so I think I think what I'm if you don't mind, Heisenberg, I'm just gonna say it out right now. Like I think this movie was really focused on Kong, and there's just not enough Godzilla scenes. But the scenes that we do see Godzilla, it was beautifully done. Like you really see his anger. You can feel, he's really not in the happy moment right now. He's has to deal with the Apex facilities, and now he's sensing Kongs, and like he has all, he's just going, he's just really pissed off, and you
Oh
can
yeah,
really feel it, and he really goes on the attack, and when you see him attack, he's attacking, so
oh
he's
yeah,
really the boss in this movie.
oh yeah, yeah. It's great to see angry Kong again
Yeah.
or angry Godzilla.
Yeah.
But but yeah, one thing about this movie, it's like it really keeps moving. It's like it moves along really fast.
It does.
The
Yeah.
pacing, because I actually would have preferred like just like a longer, like a much longer attack on
Yep.
the Apex.
Yes.
And but yeah, this but that's sort of true throughout the movie. It's like but some of the other movies, again, this is not the only movie in the series. Some of the other
Hmm.
movies are a little more like have different pacing. So
Yeah.
it's kind of so in that way, it's like okay, it's like now we're getting like a fast-paced action movie.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
uh, yeah,
And
like
may I say something about Apex? So after seeing the logo for the first time, it actually triggered a memory way back in the days where DVD players had regions, and
hmm,
there was a company, or there was a DVD company named Apex, and the logo looked really familiar. So I just did a quick Google image search, and I think it might. I don't know if it has any relationship, or because we would have to buy the Apex DVD player, and there's like a code on on the remote controller, and you can unlock the region, so you can watch Japanese DVDs, Hong Kong DVDs, or like anything overseas. Because back in the days, DVDs were region locked, so you can't see movies from other parts of the world, which is kind of unfortunate. I don't know if the director somehow brought that back. I don't know if that company still exists anymore, but I thought that was kind of neat to see that logo.
hmm, no,
So,
interesting.
yeah.
But yeah, so like in addition to seeing Bernie, then we get to we switch over to Madison Russell,
Yep.
played by Millie Bobby Brown, and she has a friend, Josh Valentine, played by Julian, I think Dennison.
Yes, he was from the movie Deadpool
Ah,
2, I think.
yep.
Yep.
And they want to go find Bernie because they think they want to know. They think we don't know
Something's
the full
up.
story about
Yeah.
what Godzilla and why he's doing this.
Yeah.
So they want to like find Bernie, try to help work with him to figure out why is Godzilla attacking.
Yeah, because it looks like apparently Madison's father, Kyle Chandler's uh, role, doesn't seem to, really side with Godzilla or listen to his daughter, and he's just, kind of on the same page of the military and Monarch, just to try to, stop Godzilla,
Oh yeah.
and not really trying to find out the full story.
Oh yeah, well that's another way in which so this aspect of the movie in particular I thought had a really strong 1980s feel to me,
Mm,
like the feel of a 1980s movie in a lot of ways, like the fact that these like teenagers going off to have their adventure
like
and
Stranger Things.
even the soundtrack switches from like being orchestral
Okay.
to using synthesizers.
Okay.
So even the music, the soundtrack even changes to like a
Yeah.
1980s soundtrack.
Mm,
So yeah, and then just a whole bunch of like subtle little things, just about the whole like all their scenes had a real 80s feel to it, kind of like a 80s Spielberg feel, and teen action movie,
hmm.
which I enjoyed. I was glad to have that feel again. And something else I started noticing with these scenes is that the heavy use of neon colors
Mm,
like keep popping up throughout the movie. So like when Madison and her friend do find Bernie, they go to a Chinese restaurant in
hmm.
Chinatown, and there's lots of neon signs like
Yep.
lighting them,
Yep.
and it doesn't end there. It's like it just keeps popping up again until we finally get to the big, Hong Kong at night climax, of
Yeah.
course, with lots of neon. And I found
Yes.
that interesting that like the heavy use of neon colors, it also seemed very reminiscent of the 80s. Not that you,
Ah,
but kind of like even more so than you would have seen. That's also kind of like an 80s motif. But this
okay.
was like even much more than you would have seen in a 1980s movie.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. But then, yeah, so what else is happening there? But yeah, with Apex, so like the head of Apex, he goes and finds this guy Nathan Lind, played by Alexander Skarsgård,
Yep.
and they're going and
I think he's in True Blood,
yeah, they
the
want to
TV
go.
show.
Yeah, they want to go to Apex. The leader of Apex wants
Wants
to
to
go to
go to
Hollow
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 Earth.
Earth,
Yeah.
which Nathan's written a whole book on. And yeah, Nathan sort of because it's apparently like Apex has figured out, oh, there's a big energy source
Yep.
in Hollow Earth. We want to go there and find the energy source.
Yes.
And and it's like, oh, maybe that'll help us like fight Godzilla. And then Nathan's like, oh, gets the idea. It's like, oh, well, to help us find this energy source, I bet you
Right.
Kong probably
Yeah.
will be able to find it better than
Well,
we can.
lead us there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's like, so the idea is like, oh, let's go take Kong there.
Yep.
So yeah, so sure enough, they put Kong on a boat.
Oh yeah. So they call up his colleague who apparently just happens to work on Skull Island, and yeah. So they put Kong on a boat. Somehow he got sedated. Um, and similar scene to I guess the original Kong. And for my memory, is the 1962 King Kong versus Godzilla. He's on a boat. He's tied down.
Yeah, and actually in the 1933 movie, they actually didn't put him on a. You actually don't
Oh, they
see him
didn't
on
put
the
him.
boat. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
yeah, he makes the trip on the boat, but they actually left
Don't
that
show
out.
it, right?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like I think I misspoke in an earlier one of our earlier
Oh, okay.
videos that that was
Yeah.
part of the movie, but it's like yeah, my memory's going a bit. But oh yeah, yeah, and this is where we start seeing like the red and blue
Yep.
like motifs, where like blue is associated with Godzilla,
Godzilla
and
and
red
Red.
not necessarily red itself, but kind of like an orange red, like a
Yeah.
clay color. Color is associated with Kong,
Yep.
and we start seeing it. Like if you look for it, you can see these colors on the boat.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, quite a bit. So yeah, Kong's like drugged on the boat, and then Godzilla comes and attacks.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
And
what'd you think? What'd you think of
he's
that?
showing no mercy.
Oh yeah, what'd you think of that fight there
Yeah,
so
I mean
far?
that's the first fight. We saw a lot of if you saw like the IGN clip and the trailers, most of it was kind of shown already. But it was really cool. I mean, I was really lucky. I was able to find a single IMAX theater that's open in the state of Massachusetts that's opened on a weekday. So I put on all my protective gear and ventured off just for this movie, and I'm quarantining myself for the next 2 weeks just to be on the safe side to protect others in the community. And but yeah, I think
Oh,
yeah, it
cool. So you
was
saw it on a big IMAX screen. Was it 2D
giant
or
IMAX
3D?
screen, 2D. It was only for 2D, and if there was an option, I would only go with 2D. I don't want to put on those glasses where someone else may have wore it anyway. So but yeah, it looked great, sounded awesome. I haven't been to the movies in a while, so I think the sound system was very loud.
Hmm.
But it was very enjoyable. It's a great experience, and if you have the opportunity, although I don't recommend going out to the theater right now until you get vaccinated. Hopefully, once everyone's vaccinated, the movie's still in theaters. I would definitely suggest going out once it's safe to do so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Luckily I live by myself, so I'm gonna try to keep all my family members away from me for 2 weeks to protect everybody.
Yeah. I watched it on HBO Max, which does have it in 4K, and I've got a 4K screen.
Excellent.
So it looked
Yep.
good, but like my sound system is like puny. It's like
Ah.
it's not. It's like I do have external speakers hooked up to
Yeah.
the computer, but still they're like puny external speakers.
Yeah.
But at least it's like a
Clear image,
clear
right?
image.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Yeah, and I have some friends. If you have the option, you can maybe like there's those, what do you call it? Drive-in theaters.
yeah,
Hopefully you have a good sound system in the car or something. But I have a few friends up in Canada. I think he's gonna go check it out. later this week in a drive-in. So that might be a nice experience. I've never done a drive-in. If I get a chance after quarantine period, and if I can find a drive-in, I might give that a shot just for the experience because I've never done it, and it might be pretty cool.
Yeah, part of what I liked about this like fight on the boats, I like the sort of like the like kind of like this the homage to Jaws, like at one
Yeah,
point that
yeah.
the fact that
The
Godzilla's
fins,
yeah
like the
Godzilla
back
starts
fins,
dragging well not only the
and
fin in the
dragging the
water,
boat. Yeah,
yeah
and
yeah
dragging the
but
boat
in
down.
Jaws they like shoot the shark
The tag, right?
with some flotation devices.
Yeah.
So sometimes you like
You
you
can
know where the
see where
shark
the
is you by
yeah.
the flotation device is like is like getting dragged around on the
Yep.
surface.
Yep.
So here
Part
like
of the ship got
yeah
caught.
yeah Godzilla like breaks the ship in half and then he sort of like and then the ship's anchor like gets caught on Godzilla.
Yeah.
So you don't so Godzilla's underwater, you don't see
You
him,
can't
but you
see
see
him.
the
Yeah.
ship being dragged. And at
Yep.
one
So you
point
know
he
where he
like
is.
yeah at one point he puts it like he like pulls it underwater.
Down. Yep.
But yeah, so that's like from Jaws. So I thought
Yeah.
that was fun to see.
Yeah. That was really fun. I love that scene.
Yeah. And actually, one thing I really liked though is like as part of like okay, when Kong's getting ready, he's like, how do I fight? How do I fight? What's
It's
he
just
do?
looking around.
He's looking around. How do I
Oh,
fight this guy? He picks up a fighter jet.
fighter jet.
So this
Yeah,
is where
fighter
we
jet
get
Kong.
yeah,
Yeah, we
this is
get the
where we
fighter
get
jet Kong.
yeah, we get fighter jet Kong, and just like the toy. And I was
Yeah,
like,
and that's
yeah, this is
the
just like the toy. It's like
that.
he picks it up and holds it in his hand. And I
Yeah,
remember it's like, yeah,
that's what I did.
yeah,
That's what Chief
that's what
Forever
Chief
did the
Forever
whole
did in the
time.
review.
In all the reviews and photos, I've always had fighter jet Kong holding the fighter jet, and apparently that's what happened.
Yeah. It worked out. Yeah, so like the toy. So yeah, that's really cool that the toy like matches
Playmates
the scene
actually, yeah,
like really
Playmates
well.
actually did it.
Yeah.
I
I was
love
like,
that.
yeah.
And he was jumping around from ship to ship. That I found that pretty funny. And yeah, I think that scene was really cool.
Yeah, it was
It
a little
apparent
dark. It was a little dark on my screen.
underwater, right?
Underwater, was it
Yeah,
dark
the underwater.
on your
No,
screen?
I could see it. There were some points that it was dark. Yeah, I think I've only seen this once, so I of course I need to rewatch it multiple times for a better judgment. But from my memory, yeah, I think it was dark, but you can make out what's happening. It looked like Kong had no chance though. If it
Yeah,
wasn't for the military really saved them. The first round, Kong would have been dragged underwater and drowned.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
I think it
yep,
was a little. I think it was a little dark. I could still see kind of what was happening, but I wanted it to be a little brighter, a little clearer,
yeah,
what was happening. But
yeah,
I really like that. I think that might be one of my favorite posters. There's a poster, like an art
yeah. The
poster.
Chinese poster,
Yeah,
right? They're
yeah,
underwater.
there's a Chinese art poster of like the
Yeah,
two of them like fighting underwater. So I think
yeah.
that's like one of my maybe one of my favorite posters of all the ones we've seen. I don't know if they've actually made it as a physical poster. It's like it's one of the poster images that's been posted online.
Yeah, potentially it's out in China. It's not in the U.S. Unfortunately. The only poster that I saw in the theater was just the original one where you only see Godzilla's back fin and Kong's looking in the center.
Yeah, in the
Um,
distance.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. By the time I got out of the theater, there was no staff around. I wanted to ask if I can get an extra poster, but there was no one around. So it's sad. I mean, we live in the time of COVID. It's before, like, if you go to an IMAX fair opening day, they would pass out some posters, but nothing.
Mhm.
Yeah, not like China. China, you get everything. You get Godzilla mask, Kong mask, and plushies.
Yeah. Ice
Popcorn,
cream.
ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh
even
yeah.
theater exclusive figures,
But one
bottle
thing
caps
too
and
about
stuff.
like the trailer, because yeah, I sort of the trailer's spoiling the movie, because
Yeah,
I certainly wanted to see well because we're covering the movie like with news, like I
yeah,
thought it's like okay, I certainly want to watch the first trailer, and then I
yep.
know some folks that said okay after they watched the first trailer, okay,
They
it's
should
like I'm
stop, right?
convinced it's a good movie, I'm going to stop. And then I kept watching some of the footage, and then I soon after a while I thought it's like okay,
Seeing too
yeah, I'm
much.
seeing too much. I'm seeing too much here, so I stopped watching the trailers and all the TV spots, and
Mm,
didn't start up again until like they
Mecha
finally revealed
Godzilla.
Mechagodzilla.
Yeah,
But but yeah, it's like I think the best way to see any movie is to like know
avoid
absolutely nothing
trailers.
about it, like where you have not seen any trailer and you haven't seen the toys. But
That's tough in this modern day society,
but
though,
yeah, that's really
with
tough
the
these
internet.
days. to
Yeah.
try to stay away from this stuff, because it's like if you sort of like look anywhere, if you look online for any information about it, like the odds are you're going to get like the biggest spoiler is like the first thing you're going to see. So you have to like really like just like try to stay offline
Yeah.
to avoid it. And then
Yeah.
and
And
the toys too, because I felt because I always feel conflicted about it as because I think it's like, oh, the best way to have seen this was to like not have seen any trailers, not have seen any of the toys, but we're
mm,
covering the toys. And then like the toys by their nature, the toys always spoil the movie to some degree.
they come out first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the toys come out first and they're going to reveal things about the movie. And so if you want to see so if you really want to be like completely in the dark, you got to stay away from all the toy news. But again, we're covering the toy news, so we're seeing the toys.
Yes. Yep.
So it's like, oh, like with the Mechagodzilla toy, we actually knew the
Far
Mechagodzilla
in
toy got
advance.
leaked like over a year ago.
Yep.
And I actually didn't post those pictures in part because Warner Brothers came down hard on people who did. But
Mm,
also, it's like, okay, they want to keep this a secret. So I tried to maintain the secret
yeah.
until finally, when it got to the point where, okay, Mechagodzilla, the toy is in Walmart.
Yep.
Like the toy is in Walmart. And then also
Yeah.
the
We had
director,
a yeah, we had a date that and the director
yeah, and then the
showed it off.
director
Yeah.
like showed the toy on his Instagram account. So I
Yep.
thought at the point at which the toy is in Walmart, there's like, it's going to be everywhere online. So
Yeah.
it's like, I'm going to stop trying to hide it
Yep.
at that point. And
Yep.
so, but unfortunately, some people I'm sure there are some people that had like hadn't been following the movie. So it's like at
Mm,
some point it's like, oh, I wonder what's happening with
what's
the movie.
new?
They look online. The first thing they do see is
Mechaguts.
Mechagodzilla. And
Yeah.
there's like, oh, I wish I hadn't known that. It's like, well, yeah, it's like you gotta, yeah, it's like the toys are gonna reveal stuff, and
Yeah.
then that's why also like when they had the trailer with Mechagodzilla,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, it's like, well, the toys
This is
we've already revealed the toy, and in the trailer with Mechagodzilla, they don't show him like it's not like all the footage. It's just sort of like a
yeah,
hint of
this
him.
hint of him.
It's
Yeah,
a hint
just the
of him.
back
So it's like, okay,
fins.
I'll show that. I'm gonna like post the trailer too.
Yeah.
And again, I think most people were excited to see it. Most people already knew,
Know
okay,
about it.
he's in the
Yeah.
movie. They're excited to see a glimpse of him. Some people I think were sad. It's like, oh, I
You
wanted to
shouldn't have
like know
showed it.
nothing.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, like it's really you got to stay off of YouTube. I mean, really, you
Yeah.
got to go to extreme lengths, unfortunately, to
Yeah.
like absolutely like not know anything.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like as a fan, like I knew about Mechagodzilla long ago, like you said, with the leaks, like back, I don't know, a year ago or something. And as a fan, like maybe unlike some other folks that maybe want to stay out of the dark, I want to know everything. I want to see everything. That's just my nature. I don't, maybe everyone's different, but it's really depends on your personality. I really wanted to see everything, but maybe just maybe keep the final, the final movie alone, but at least you can, see Mechagodzilla. I know what he looks like, kind of have a early hint and kind of get my
Mhm.
expectations going. But that's just me. I mean, I
Yeah.
really love everything about
Uh,
the movies and the
Yeah,
monsters.
well, if I weren't covering
You wanted
the
to
toy
keep it a
news, I probably
secret,
would have
right?
kept. I would have probably tried to avoid everything, and I
Yeah.
succeeded at that with Wonder Woman when the first Wonder
Oh,
Woman
okay.
came out. Wonder
Yep.
Woman movie came out with Gal Gadot.
Yep.
It's like I'm a like also a huge Wonder Woman fan from when I was a little kid and watched Linda
Yep.
Carter, on
Yep.
TV. So with the Wonder Woman movie, I decided it's like, okay, I'm not going to watch anything. I did not watch the trailer. It's like I knew
Oh,
when the trailer had come out. Oh, the trailer's out. And it's like, okay, I'm not going to watch the trailer. Like not even like yeah, I'm going to not watch anything. And of course, like
okay.
with the and I had a pretty easy time avoiding the toys. I assume
Okay.
there was like some toys out. And so when I went to see Wonder Woman, it's like, yeah, I pretty much watched it cold and
Oh,
really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great movie. And then I
yep.
went back and watched, okay, what did they reveal in the trailer? And I was so glad I had not watched it because basically it's
Uh,
like like the best scene, like the
we're
best
in the
scene
trailer, right?
is in the trailer
Yeah.
where it's like, okay, I'm glad I saw this like, on the big, IMAX
The big
screen
screen.
for the
Yeah.
first time, like with, as part of watching the movie.
Yeah.
Uh,
I can see that. Like, I think in this movie, one of the big scenes was Kong holding the axe in the air and then slamming into Godzilla. And that was shown in the very first trailer. Like, I think I mean, that's just the way it is. I think in the trailers they do show off like the coolest scenes just to grab people's attention to go to the movie.
Yeah,
So
convince. Yeah, because they're trying to convince people to see the movie. So often they will
yeah,
pick the very best moments
yeah,
to show you because it's like because they want to sell it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So going back to the movie,
Going back to the
they
movie, so we
actually
had our
yeah,
first fight.
they're in Apex. Yeah,
So we're yeah okay. So we had so
the
we
first fight. Yep,
yeah
they're the
so we
first
finished the
fight.
first fight, and then
They
yeah
play dead. They play
Madison and
dead.
Bernie are like
Yeah,
trying to Madison, Bernie, and the other guy, the other kid, are spying on Apex,
yep,
and they find the skull crawler eggs,
yes. And we
which I think
saw
is
the skull
cool.
crawler eggs in New York, so
Yeah,
that
well, you
was
saw them
fun.
in person. I saw your
I did.
footage of it. So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, the skull crawler eggs, two of them are on display in
in New
New York
York.
City. We made a
Yeah,
video about it. You can look it up.
yeah,
But I was like, oh, okay, there they are, and you can't really
yeah.
see the skull, and they're just as yeah, they're even more opaque, I think, in the movie than
And
seeing them
there's
in
a bunch of
person.
lighting too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it was hard to see, but in the movie you could see the Skullcrawler's eyes.
Hmm.
I think just moved a little bit. Um,
And then they
yeah.
find a magic tunnel that takes them
Yep.
from like Apex in
From
Florida
all
to
the way to Hong Kong
all the
somehow.
way to Apex in Hong Kong.
Yeah. Traveling
Yeah,
what
I'd like
700?
a ticket
Yeah.
on that yeah on that
What was it?
ship
Over
there.
600 miles per hour of no seatbelts, and everyone survived.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you do have to suspend your disbelief with this movie. I was like, well, that's okay. It's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's get them to Hong Kong, no problem.
No problem. Somehow there's a magic tunnel.
Yeah. And then meanwhile, getting back to Kong, they've managed to get Kong to Antarctica because that's where they know there's an entrance to Hollow Earth,
Yep.
and they convince him to go inside. And
Yeah, but
inside,
before they do that,
yeah,
Kong goes into the this cargo net or something.
yeah,
Somehow there's a magic huge cargo net appears, and a bunch of helicopters carry him. And
yeah.
Kong just cooperates. He just falls asleep on it. And it's it's like another Easter egg back to the 1962 film when Kong got drunk from the berry juice, and I think was it helicopters? I
Yeah, yeah,
think it
yeah. I
was
think they did that.
helicopters. Yeah, they also did helicopters, and they also they used this magic string, like super strong string in that movie. That this scientist just discovered that no one would buy this product, but now he found some use out of it to carry Kong.
Oh yeah,
So they carry Kong in that movie to Mount Fuji, I believe,
yeah.
to fight Godzilla. In this movie, they carry him to Antarctica, and Kong just cooperates. So
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Because we got to keep
yeah,
the plot moving. Got to keep
yeah,
this
we have
movie.
to keep him moving. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So and then he goes.
before they carry him, everyone played dead because Godzilla was, was overpowered, like just super powerful, and they couldn't do anything.
Yep, yep.
Yep,
But yeah, once he's inside, he encounters I think not one but two war
two war
bats.
bats, but that was short lived. I wish the fight was a little longer, like, and maybe that they should have threw in a third war bat or something, third or fourth war bat, because it looked like they didn't really they didn't stand a chance. They're like weaker than the skull crawlers from the Skull Island movie. So that was kind of disappointing. His Warbat looked kind of cool, and I liked how his I guess was it wings or
Yep.
something is like wrapped around his face. I think there was a clip I showed on my YouTube channel as well.
Oh yeah, because
Uh,
like, well, and actually, that's something else I misremembered. Like in the original 1933 movie,
the snake.
Kong does not fight a snake, but he
Oh, he
fights
doesn't.
another. It's not a snake, but it's sort of this amphibious creature with like a really long neck that kind of wraps around him.
Oh, okay.
So something snake-like, but not
Snake
well,
leg. Okay.
but at least like the neck. But then in the 1976 movie, it is a
There is
big
a snake,
snake
right?
that he
Cool, cool.
fights. So yeah, so
Yeah.
this and as I expected, yeah, Warbat kind of wraps one of them wraps itself around Kong, which I
Yeah.
think makes for a yeah, which is traditional, and I think it makes makes for a good moment. But yeah, it did go by
Yeah.
a bit fast.
Yep.
I think it would have been good if it was a bit longer.
Yep. And what do you think of the heaves, the XGAV
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
vehicles?
That was kind of fun to see those, and again, lots of neon. Like that. That's what really
Yes.
struck me. It's like here again.
More neon.
It's like more neon lights. It was very again very 80s. Actually, a lot like Tron.
Tron. I
Reminded
was
me a
about
lot
to
of.
say it was similar. I haven't seen the original Tron, but kind of reminds me of Tron because everything's like super fast and then there's a lot of colors.
Yeah,
So
there's a
yeah.
lot of neon in Tron. So yeah,
Yep.
it was very reminiscent of that.
Yeah, cool,
So yeah,
cool.
yeah. So I kind of liked all the color in the movie.
Nice.
And then yeah, so he after Warbat he finds some sort of temple or some sort of big room where he
Yep.
finds the battle axe.
Battle axe.
Yeah, sort
Yep.
of like it looks like it's still stuck in a like a skeleton of an old
Old.
Godzilla
Yeah.
or some old creature.
I think it could have been like a past Kong that was holding it or something. I'm
Hmm.
not sure. I have to rewatch that scene, but yeah, it does a pretty cool moment. In the 2019 movie, you get to see Godzilla's like home, his temple. This time you get to see Kong's temple and
Yeah,
home. So we verified that the Prime One Studios bus does not have the the underwater city
yeah. It's not
for
based
Godzilla.
on
Yep.
2021 movie. Yeah, it's based on
Yeah.
the 2019 movie,
19,
which is
which is
yeah,
still fine. I love it. I'm still on the fence. It's a lot of money to put down. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, if it's still available, I if I can, move things around, I'll consider it.
oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, there's the battle axe, and there's also the
Yeah,
hell
and the
bats are
battle,
there.
yeah, the battle axe actually is very important in this film. So before, we'll talk about that in a moment. Yeah, the
Or
Hellhawks.
the hell, oh hell hawks,
Oh,
yeah,
no,
hell, yeah,
sorry, was it Warhawk or Hellhawk?
yeah. It was the yeah,
Oh
yeah. It's
boy.
war bats. It's
War
war
bats
bats, and then it's
and the
hell hawks.
Hellhawks. Yep.
Yeah, hell hawks. So
Yeah,
yeah, the hell
Hellhawks.
hawks are there, kind of floating around.
Yeah. And
Uh,
they don't look too menacing. They really look like birds with bat wings. Like the but because they're so big, they attack the people that were around.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um
But it looks like this is where, but yeah, this temple apparently is where the power is like, or at least one power source, where they're close to the
yes.
power source, and he
Yep.
actually charges up the
The
battle axe
battle
with power,
axe.
which is a nice combination. That also has like big, like is also colorful, like
Yes.
the handle, which is like a big bone, like
Yep.
glows
Glows
red,
red.
and then the blade
Yep.
glows blue.
Yeah, and the blade, we believe is a Godzilla fin from probably from a previous battle,
Yep.
and but yes, it looks like that battle axe like kind of activates the whole room where all that energy is. That made a really nice scene. You can kind of see like Godzilla's shape. I
Yeah.
guess I'm not really sure what that was all about,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah,
really
yeah. It's
cool.
kind of weird, but yeah, it sort of glows. Yeah, the blue glow of the energy and the floor is
Yeah,
like appears in the
a
shape of
silver, a
Godzilla,
shape. Yeah,
like,
but
but
they're
it's
in
like
a
a
but
drawing.
Yeah, but they're in a Kong temple. So, but anyways, it's cool no matter what.
Yeah,
Um, and apparently that pisses Godzilla off. Godzilla was so in Godzilla's story, he's swimming around. He senses they're activating Mecha Godzilla. I think they did a test run, and then they're using skull crawlers
oh
as
yeah,
like
yeah. So yeah,
test species or something
oh
to
yeah. Well,
fight
before
Mecha
we get to
Godzilla.
Godzilla, yeah, we get to see a little. We get our first look at Mecha Godzilla. So
Yeah.
we go back to Apex,
Yep. In Hong Kong.
and they power up. Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
Apex in Hong Kong. They
A
power up Mecha
demo.
Godzilla,
Yep. There's a
and
demo.
they give him a skull crawler,
Yep.
and he like kills the skull crawler with a red heat ray, which is
Yes.
very cool. So it's like
Yeah.
it's great to see Mechagodzilla, and and then he's got the red glowing eyes and the other red glow on him, and a
Yep.
red heat ray. And it's
Yep.
interesting that he's not shiny. So after a little later, he comes out into the daylight. This first scene is kind of indoors in the dark.
Yep.
But I was curious about I was curious about like what color he is, and also the red too,
Yep.
because like the red sometimes the red some of the red is like a deep red, like a deep
Mm.
like ruby red or maybe a
Yep.
rose red,
Yep.
and that's what I like. I like the deep really the really deep bright red. Other
Mm.
times you sort of like some of the red is like a little more pale.
Yeah.
It's a little more washed out, and I didn't like
Yeah.
the fact that it was washed out
Mm.
because my ideal Mechagodzilla toy or figure would be like a. It doesn't have to be an action figure. I'd like a statue, maybe like a high end statue that you can actually plug in, and it'll like
He'll light up.
light up and glow red. And I want like a really deep, like a menacing red. So I don't. So even to the point of like not being movie accurate. Because
Okay.
if it was movie accurate, some of the red would be kind of washed out, maybe even like a little pinkish, like a pinkish
Well.
red. It's like no, it's like I'd rather even if it's not accurate to the movie, it's like give me a really deep red. Because
Well,
same
Heisenberg,
thing with like Shin Godzilla when he turns purple. If you look at the movie, it's like it's actually a very kind of like a pale purple because he's largely glowing white.
Yeah.
It's largely white with just like a little bit of purple, which
Mm.
I think it would be better if it was like more of
Deeper
a
purple,
deeper
right?
purple. Though it's
Yeah.
hard to get it right. I think like as we've seen X Plus do both.
Yeah. Yeah. We
Like
did.
we've seen it do a pale purple and then more of a
And all
deeper,
purple.
and then
Yeah.
like a deeper purple. And I think both. I think something in
They had.
between, something in
Yeah.
between would have been better.
Yeah. So Heisenberg, your wish might come true, as we'll probably announce in a very in our next, probably our next video, or very close to, one of the next
Oh yeah,
videos. You might get your wish come true with a really high-end giant Mecha Godzilla, and also the Shin Godzilla
oh
with
yeah,
a nice glowing purple.
oh yeah. But in terms of what color he was, I noticed he wasn't very shiny. Mechagodzilla was not shiny.
Not
It was
super
actually kind of
shiny.
dark. So it's like he
Yeah.
sort of. So
Like dirty metal, I
there is one
guess.
shot of
Yeah.
him outdoors, like a good shot of his head,
Hmm.
and it's like different panels of metal. Like some of them are black, some are
Yep.
brown, some are gray, different shades of gray, and there's kind of like a black soot on him.
Mm.
Like kind of like a dust, like a
Yep.
soot, like like sort of like
From it, like
black dust.
exhaust or something, right?
Yeah, some sort of like
Like car
exhaust.
exhaust. Yeah.
And so it's so yeah, he isn't like this shiny like
He's not
silver.
not a shiny
It
brand new car.
Yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of dark. There's a few parts of him are a little shiny,
Yep.
and but more like not super shiny, not like a chrome, but more like maybe just like a
Hmm.
steel.
Yep.
Some parts of it are not quite as dirty or not quite as dark.
Yep.
So I found that interesting that he's sort of that because my first thought was oh it's like oh the toy I want like a pretty shiny like
Shiny
silver
Mechagodzilla.
Mechagodzilla, which I think I still might like, but a movie accurate one I think will actually be kind of darker, but not all the
Mm.
way black too.
Hmm.
Because at one point I was wondering, oh, is he actually black? Because there's a few moments
Black
where,
underneath, right?
because there was a few moments where I thought it's like, oh, he actually, I wonder if he's black,
Yeah.
even. But looking closely, it's like, no, it's more subtle than
It's
that.
like a gunmetal, like gunmetal gray or something. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
but if you look at
darker
him, like,
gray.
yeah, if you, when you watch it again, it's like once he's outside, there's a shot of his head. I would
Hmm.
like, like look at that. Like if you watch it like on HBO Max, you can pause
Hmm.
that
Yep.
and like take a good look there. So it's actually it's like a whole array. It's a whole array of
Mm.
colors and shades.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, but he's not out yet in our story. It's like he kills. Yeah. So do you
The
like
skull
you
crawler.
like his first scene where he's like comes to life and kills the skull crawler?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I wish though that the scene had multiple skull crawlers, so it made it more exciting. But I mean, it's still cool. I think I liked it. And but I felt they revealed Mechagodzilla too soon. But that's probably the length of the movie. They had to keep it moving. Um,
I would have expected that they would have held off until like more like closer to the more of the climax.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
here's the big battle between Godzilla and Kong,
Kong.
and and out of the
Yep.
blue, oh, there's also
This.
Mechagodzilla.
Yeah.
But of course, they were
Yeah.
like hinting at Mechagodzilla. I mean, as soon as they name, even with the name Apex Cybernetics, and they're
Yeah. The
telling, what do we make it?
cybernetics.
Apex Cybernetics? We make robots. We make robots with like AI.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yep.
oh, gee, wonder how that's going to tie into the movie.
Yeah,
And
and
then
there
it's
was like
like,
a big
and they're
circle
doing
thing.
something, and they're
Yeah,
doing
they're
something
doing
secret.
something. Yep,
Yeah,
underground.
yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
underground base. But yeah. So what else was there? So
But then
the
Godzilla, yeah, but then we sort of like, yeah,
before Godzilla,
yeah,
Mechagodzilla, after that one shot, he loses all his power and shuts off, just like in the 2002 movie Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, Kiryu version.
hmm.
So same thing. I think in that movie, um, Mechagodzilla always had a battery problem, and they kind of carried that over into this movie. So that was kind of neat, like a little throwback to the modern, or I would say like the 2000s Mechagodzilla.
Oh yeah, it turns out that's why they're looking for the Hollow Earth power
Correct.
source.
They need some superpower that can keep him alive, and somehow you just copy it. I don't know, like you just
Yeah,
copy and you
yeah.
paste it into Mechagodzilla's computer system somehow, and then you don't even need to grab the energy. You just copy and paste it. Um,
Yeah. They just needed to know like the material was like, and then they made their own copy like really
yeah,
fast. Which
yeah.
is like okay, which again, suspension of disbelief, that's fine. But I did like the fact that I did like the idea that both Godzilla and Mechagodzilla are basically getting their same the power from the same
Same
source. So
source.
that makes
Okay.
them like very
Equal.
evenly
Yeah.
matched.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but then then Godzilla actually does show up in Hong
Yeah.
Kong.
He said, I think he sensed the Mecha Godzilla first. So he was really, he's approaching to attack the Apex facility, and looks like Kyle Chandler's character is, being sent over to Hong Kong as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. So he shows up in Hong Kong, and then he seems to sense that that Kong is like beneath him in Hollow Earth, and of course he
Yeah,
shoots his ray. Again,
all the
suspension of
way
disbelief
down,
all the way down
down to Hollow
to
Earth.
where Kong is. Like
Yep.
very good aim.
Yeah,
And
and
so then now
that's a
it's
pretty strong fire beam
oh yeah,
to
yeah,
reach
so,
down to
yeah,
the
so,
Hollow Earth,
oh yeah. So now like Kong can like climb out,
climb
and
out
they can
into
start
Hong
and
Kong.
they can start the big fight.
Yeah, so that was the thing. I was like, oh man, Kong's in Hollow Earth. How is he gonna get to Hong Kong? And apparently Godzilla opens a door for him. So that explains it all. Because the whole movie, I'm like, oh man, so Kong is in Hollow Earth. Like really, like how can he make it out of Hollow Earth and into Hong Kong? So because it was a lot, the entrance was in Antarctica.
Oh yeah. Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. But
so
this is when it's like Hong Kong at night looks just
so
beautiful
beautiful.
with all, and
Oh
then the neon, and yeah. So it's like yeah, if you got that great neon, so then yeah, might as well like. So yeah, I was a little surprised that it's like okay, it's not just Hong Kong at night that's neon. Let's have neon through the whole
whole
movie.
movie, yeah.
So I thought it's like oh yeah, I thought that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and
Certainly stylized. It makes it quite stylized,
yeah.
but I thought it was well done.
Another Easter egg. I don't know if you saw it. I think one of the early scenes when Godzilla does arrive in Hong Kong, it's a very similar scene in the 1995 film when Burning Godzilla lands in Hong Kong.
Hmm.
There's like a street, and I think they had like the Chinese lights, like the signs. So I think they had a very similar street. It might not be the exact street because Hong Kong has changed since 1995. But it was a very, it brought back that memory from that film. So that was fun to see.
Oh yeah, and so this is like the big battle. So how'd you like the big battle there?
It was good. I was actually shaking in tears when I saw Godzilla finally won because I was really worried. Like, I'm a huge Godzilla fan, you probably know, and I'm Team Godzilla all the way. But because it's Kong's the underdog, and I wouldn't say Kong is probably, uh, I want to say in the U.S. is a much preferred monster. So I was like, oh man, are they gonna make Kong
Well,
win again?
well, I thought just for business reasons, he's like the yeah, more of a Hollywood monster.
Hollywood monster,
So I
exactly,
thought,
exactly,
I
yeah,
thought it's like, yeah, it's like, well, I thought maybe Kong was going to win just because it's like they got more rights to him.
yeah.
So it's like, oh, it's like, yeah, like if Godzilla, because the thinking is, well, Godzilla is going to go back to Toho,
Yeah,
and then but we can keep making movies
keep
with Kong.
Kong.
So
Yeah,
let's keep it. So let's because yeah, yeah. So let's keep let's have him win.
yeah.
And then
I
he
I
can be
love
king,
the
and then he can be King Kong
King of
because
the
they
King
keep
Kong.
calling him because the original movie
Yes,
was King
King
Kong,
Kong. They
and
didn't say King
but
Kong
in the
in this
Monster
one.
Moose movies they call him Kong.
Just Kong.
So
Yeah,
I thought it's like oh now he's gonna win and he's gonna be now King Kong.
King Kong.
Uh,
Yeah, but yeah, I think it was a really great scene. Lots of awesome scenes. I felt it was fast though. Like
yeah,
I was hoping it will be a longer fight. It seemed really fast to me.
yeah. The whole movie
Um,
seemed fast and like all the
yeah,
fights seemed fast because it seemed because I would have liked it yeah a little more things to like slow down and just
slow
like
down.
slow
Yeah,
down and let's
or
just like
make it longer.
take it in.
Yeah, yeah,
But again, I think some of the other movies did that more too.
yeah.
It's like especially Kong Skull Island, we certainly like slow down and we like really take in Skull Island.
Oh, that was a
Yeah.
beautiful, like lots of beautiful shots in Skull Island. And so going back to the fight scenes, I think Godzilla held a radio tower briefly just when he saw Kong and he dropped it. And then I think Kong put down the axe, and then that's when they roared at each other and started fighting. So I had to rewatch that scene. I'm not sure if the radio tower was really there, but that could be another homage to the Playmates toy. So that's pretty fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think Kong does pick up like something like yeah, like one of those like construction towers one
Yeah,
point.
he was using as a shield. when Godzilla's shooting his fire breath a lot in this movie. So kind of like like resembling like the Heisei movies where he just like shot the fire breath a lot. And I mean I like it, but it seemed like maybe it was a little overuse. What did you think, Heisenberg? Like I
The
want to see Godzilla more physical action,
well, I
more
found it.
tail whips.
Yeah. I would have liked to have seen his use his tail more.
Yeah.
So it's like, but yeah, the fight. I like the fight. I like it was pretty much like a wrestling fight, but it
Yeah,
went by.
Godzilla's really going at it. It was like clawing, biting, and
The
Kong was
biting I found
kicking.
interesting because it
Yeah.
like because when it was a guy in a suit, they didn't do that because I think with
Mm.
guys in a suit, it's like
You can't
it's a lot
really.
harder to do.
Yeah.
But it's like, but yeah, this being animated, it's like, oh yeah, you can bite. So it's
Yeah.
sort of like,
Well, GMK Godzilla, the 2001 Godzilla, did bite Baragon, I think, and Ghidorah. But yeah, in most movies, he didn't really bite. Yeah.
yeah. But I was glad that they like it was a physical. I was very glad it was a physical fight.
Yep.
And yeah, I wish Godzilla used his tail a little more. I
Yeah.
still was like a little reminiscent of like I really wish it was kind of like more like some actual miniatures. Like I
Hmm.
still, it's like, I think it's more fun to see like a miniature city
Yeah, me
like get
too.
attacked than a
Me too.
CGI
Than
city.
CGI
CGI just doesn't have like is not as nearly as fun to watch. To
being
watch get
destroyed,
destroyed.
right? Yeah, I mean, I'm if Toho is gonna make new movies, I really hope they just go back to the tradition because, you know, even though it's not a full CGI mode, I think the way it's just the Japanese tradition, I feel, with the man in suit. And if that goes away, it really I think that just loses
Mm.
that type of film, and it's so enjoyable. I mean, you can, kids, if you use your imagination, it's just as good as a CGI movie, if not even more fun. Like I really enjoy seeing those and rewatching those movies over and over. And but
Yeah,
when I'm looking at CGI movies, I don't know. I don't rewatch them as much, for the exception of the 2019 Godzilla, which we will talk about later on after this.
yeah. But but when they made Shin Godzilla, that's a largely
Yep, that was
computer
CGI.
graphics. But they did have some practical effects when we watched the making of.
Yep,
Like there was some
like
moments
the
where they did make
little,
miniatures. They made these
yeah,
elaborate miniatures,
yeah, like the
and
building
did film
falling down.
film those
Yeah,
miniatures, which I
yeah.
think it's like,
The
and I
furniture
thought it
in
was
the
just
building was
beautifully
collapsing.
done. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yeah,
Oh yeah. But yeah, so it sort of went by, because even as many fights as there were, like the fights seemed to go by fast.
yeah,
So, but
yeah.
maybe it does kind of leave you wanting more. So,
Yeah,
so we'll see.
definitely. It's a movie to rewatch several times. I don't know if you caught it. There was a scene where Kong picked up the battle axe and shoved it into Godzilla's mouth.
Oh
So
yeah. That's a
that
nice
was
homage. Yeah.
another Easter egg back to the 62 film when Kong picked up the tree and shoved it into Godzilla's mouth, and Godzilla had to blow his fire breath to burn it.
Oh
This
yeah.
time I think Godzilla just threw it out, right?
Yeah,
And
I
I
think he
think
just like backed away or something.
backed
We'll have to
away.
see. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
like
think
even that, I was glad that they did that. But even that went by really fast.
Yeah, it was really fast. So it wasn't like the 62 movie where he was struggling and then shot the fire breath and the tree falls out. There was another scene that was cool. Like I think Kong used the battle axe and stabbed him on the leg, and I think Godzilla just grabbed it with his mouth and like just tossed the axe and it flew into a building. I
Yep.
thought that was fun. Yeah, I was like seeing Godzilla throwing away the battle axe so he can keep on attacking.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So,
Godzilla was showing no mercy. He was on the attack the whole movie,
oh yeah.
and yeah, I think as Kong kept battling, we knew he Kong was good, very agile, and lots of physical like punching and headlocking and stuff. But
Well, I
Godzilla
liked.
was
Oh
really
yeah. Well, I like the
powerful,
fact that Kong was using the buildings. That he was like that. Yeah, he's more sort of like
hiding and
agile.
jumping around.
He's
Yep,
more agile, so he's like likes to climb and jump.
yep,
So I was glad he was like using the buildings to his advantage that way.
yep,
But yeah, so I was glad that this was like a very physical fight. So
yep,
I would have liked even more.
yeah.
Uh, yeah,
What,
yeah, yeah.
how did you like the turnout that Godzilla was the winner of the fight
Yeah, I was a little
between the two?
surprised because it's like I think I'm a little because yeah, I'm really attached to the original 1933
Kong.
King Kong.
Yeah.
So I actually would have picked. I think I would have
You
like
would have picked Kong?
I might have picked Kong to win because this like the 33 Kong, this Kong has a lot of
Emotion.
yeah, a lot of personality and emotion.
Mm.
So I was kind of like yeah, like rooting for him there.
Yeah.
But of course they did give him a happy ending.
Yeah. Yeah, and I
But
was
it didn't really it didn't matter to me too much like
who's gonna win.
who was going to win. But
Yeah,
still,
for
it's like but I think it is good to sort of like yeah have some sort of like definitive some sort of definitive answer.
Yeah, for me, I was so happy. Like I was, I think when I first saw Godzilla, in the film, and and when he won, I just had like, just inner like tears inside me. I was like, oh man, that just felt so good. But yeah, I think Godzilla just, he stepped on Kong, but he doesn't kill Kong. I think he does hurt his arm. He does scratch him up a little bit, but he does make Kong know that he's the boss.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Then but then after but then the next thing that happens there, yeah, Mecha Godzilla does appear,
does
and
appear.
I like the fact that he is like sort of like acting on his own.
Yeah, he
It's an,
went berserk again, just like the 2002 movie. But
that
this,
he's like that he's not being controlled. I like the fact that he's not being controlled, and he's like really he's really violent and angry.
yeah.
Uh,
So what did you? Oh, another Easter egg. The King Ghidorah head. They were using that as the somehow there's some regeneration power and a DNA computer. Another throwback to the 2002 Mechagodzilla. I have a feeling Adam Wingard really liked the 2002 Mechagodzilla. There wasn't too much throwback for the 93 or the 70 4 75 Mechagodzilla, because the only thing maybe close resemblance to the 74 and 75 Mechagodzilla was the underground on the underground base. But yeah, I mean, it would have been cool if we saw Mechagodzilla overheat, or if one of the eyes, gets damaged. This is a not throwback to the '93 film, but nothing like that happened. Mostly, it looked like it was kind of throwbacks to the 2002 movie.
yep. Oh yeah, but then so yeah, Mecha Godzilla appears. He starts fighting Godzilla,
Oh,
and of
and
course they have to
yeah,
and then they have to revive Kong,
yeah.
and they have to revive.
Mechagodzilla was on the attack, and this time he's very brutal. Like Godzilla was getting getting knocked down quite a bit in this film.
Yeah, and I like the fact that this is like, we got to see them out in the daylight, so
Yeah,
we did get like a pretty good look at Mechagodzilla.
yeah,
And I did like the red. I like, yeah, again, I like the fact that he does glow red. I wish it was like a little deeper red at times.
yeah. For me though, I kind of not I don't know about the red. Like I I wish it was more like, how in the logos they had like the hologram colors, like the
Hmm.
rainbow colors. I think it might have been cool if they kind of used that. Like since there was so much neon lights, maybe they should have used that on Mechagodzilla, like different colors glowing instead of
Hmm.
just a single red color. I think I like the red on his fins, but maybe not so much on like his eyes and body. I think that's just too like generic. Like
Hmm.
I think Ultron was like silver and red, and Megatron from Transformers is like silver and red. Like it's just too generic. Like a bad robot is, silver and red. So I think I would have enjoyed it if they kind of used some of those multicolor stuff. Since they had all this multicolored theme, neon lights in the theme, I think that would have been a nice look on Mechagodzilla. Because also a throwback to the '70s Mechagodzilla, where he had that multicolored rainbow beam. If he had like different colors, or maybe like if he charged up different colors and he uses different weapons, I think that would have been pretty cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, but we saw Mechagodzilla in red, red beam. It reminded me a lot, like the beams in this movie, like both Godzilla and Mechagodzilla, reminded me of how Shin Godzilla's purple laser that's cut through the buildings. A lot of those scenes kind of remind me of Shin Godzilla from 2016.
Yeah.
What did
Well, I
what
like
did
the
you think about that?
well, I like the fact that like the blue of Godzilla and the red of Mechagodzilla, like
Yeah,
with the two of them fighting there. But
yeah,
yeah,
and
I like the fact.
they had a was it a beam battle in one
Yeah,
scene. So another throwback to the Heisei Easter egg to the Heisei movies. Actually, that's a '93 Mechagodzilla homage where Mechagodzilla and Godzilla both shot the fire breaths together, and I think Mechagodzilla won the first battle.
yeah. I thought that was a
Um,
little cliche to do that. But I was like, I tolerated it. But I like the fact that like Godzilla actually seemed a bit scared in this fight. That Mechagodzilla seemed,
he was overpowered. He was
it was.
overpowered.
Oh yeah.
I think at the end when Mechagodzilla is kind of doing the same thing he did to Muto, I think Godzilla was actually, yeah, I think he was scared. This is actually he might lose this fight for once.
Yeah. I thought that was sort of well done too. I actually found that a little disturbing. The
Yeah,
yeah, it's like,
that
oh,
laser. Yeah,
but yeah, and but yeah, then they gave Mechagodzilla a lot of like cool
cool
weapons.
weapons,
Like he could shoot missiles, but also at one point he
missiles,
like launch he like he's got like jets in his back, which he turns on to sort of
propels
like,
a little bit.
yeah, he propels himself like into Godzilla.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
he also evade. I think Godzilla was attacking. He evades Godzilla's attacks. So he actually moves quite fast as well. And I think when he like does the hand move and the kicking, he also has like almost like an Iron Man feel, like a little burst from his hands and feet.
oh yeah, he actually
Um,
has like some blue energy comes
yeah,
out of
blue
him.
energy. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's
yeah,
not all red. Yep.
yeah. It's not all red.
Yeah, but then they revive Kong and
Yep.
tell Kong it's like
They used the heat HEAV vehicle as
start
what do
up
you
his
call it?
heart, which
Yeah.
actually harkens back to King Kong Lives, which is like
Oh,
one of the
really?
worst King Kong movies. So they made like
So what happened in that film?
basically the big movie was the 1976 King Kong, and then in the 80s, I think it was like around 86 or so, they wanted to have a sequel,
Okay.
which is just a really bad movie. I think I'm one of the maybe the few people that watched the whole thing
Okay.
because it was
Yep.
interesting. Before I watched it, I was like reading reviews, and all the reviews basically just talked about the first 10 minutes.
Oh,
So I got the impression I think all these reviewers like just watched the first
never
10 minutes and then
never
gave up
finished
on
the
it.
film. Oh no.
But yeah, like but in the beginning of the movie, King Kong is like has a like a bat has a problem with his heart, so they actually do surgery on his heart to
Oh.
try to help him. So
Well,
yeah,
okay.
this is sort of like so Kong having a bad heart here like harkens back to the '86 movie.
That's cool. So yeah, I mean, yeah, so I haven't seen the Kong films, so that's kind of neat that there's Easter eggs to the Kong films as well.
Yeah. But yeah. So they revive Kong
Yep.
and then convince him that it's like, oh, he's got to
Yeah.
help Godzilla.
Yeah, so Gia was talking to Kong and letting him know that Godzilla's not the enemy. Kong wasn't too happy about it because his arm was dislocated, it looked like.
Yeah.
But it looks like he agrees with Gia and fixes his arm, and then he goes into battle with Mechagodzilla.
Oh
And I think,
yeah. So it's a great team. So it's a great team fight of like the
yeah,
two of them against with the two of them. It's like against Mechagodzilla, they do much better.
yeah. So yeah, it looked like this time around, it looks like Godzilla was having some trouble with Mechagodzilla, but then again, I want to say like Godzilla just finished a fight with Kong, so you had to give him some credit. That was a little tough fight. So he hasn't really fully recovered. And same with Kong, he was pretty beat up too. So both of them are weakened when they're fighting Mechagodzilla. But yeah, so having them team up was a really fun fight. Again, I think the final scene where I liked how Godzilla shot the fire breath to the battle axe to charge it up, and then Kong used it to slice Mechagodzilla up. That was really cool.
Oh yeah, and I'm glad Mechagodzilla's head got pulled off. So Kong. So yeah, even though it was nice that though Kong lost against Godzilla,
But he won
then
with
yeah, he
Mechagodzilla.
Kong gets to win against Mechagodzilla, and
Yeah,
yeah, it's great that he ripped his head off. I was hoping it was just going to be I was hoping it was going to be just the head, like
yeah,
was it so that's the end of what 74 or 75.
yeah.
When does he get his head ripped off?
75.
70 end of 75 when he gets his head ripped off. But I was hoping it would just be the head, but instead it's like the head and some of the spine,
Spine,
which I
yeah.
thought was
That was more of a Mortal Kombat fatality move.
yeah, it was more like the Predator too. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mortal Kombat and Predator. So I would
yeah.
have preferred if it was just the head. I was
Just the
actually,
head.
and people may remember. So like it's actually been almost a year to the day since we had April Fool's Day 2020, and I actually decided what my April Fool's Day joke was that I was going to say. It's like, oh, I know the plot of the movie because there was
Mm.
staying in the video that oh there was a test screening. There was a
Uh,
test screening, and there really was a test screening. So I started out the video and I talk about the real press screening. a test screening that they had, not a press, a test screening, a test
Okay.
audience.
Yep.
Got to see it, and so I talk about that. As like, okay, I want to make Warner Brothers nervous. I want to make Warner Brothers nervous. So I start out like, okay, I'm going to reveal some spoilers. First, I'm going to reveal some like minor spoilers, and then I'm going to like build to like the big spoilers.
Okay.
I say it's like, oh, Mechagodzilla's in the movie, and so at
Yep.
first I tried to like have the spoilers be things that really happen, and
Yep.
then I thought it's like, okay, I'm going to keep getting it more and more like kind of silly as
Okay.
I go and see if and it was nice. I got in the comments some people were fooled, but they said like, okay, by the end of your story, I figured out this like isn't really happening. But still, I thought it's like, okay, yeah, it's like Godzilla and Kong were going to fight, but then
Yep.
Mechagodzilla is going to show up, and they're going to like decide to team up against Mechagodzilla.
Yep.
And then I said, oh yeah, and then they're going to rip. I forget
The
who's. I
the
thought I
head
said
off.
I don't know if I had Kong doing it or Godzilla, but I said okay, they're going to grab him by the head and they're
Yep.
going to rip his head off. But then like the silly moment was, it said okay, then they're going to like kick it around like a
Kick it
soccer
like
ball.
soccer ball.
They're going to
Yep.
kick it around like a soccer ball, and the soundtrack is going to play "Singing in the Rain"
Yep.
because it's raining. And of course they didn't do it, so I was wondering, it's like, oh, it's like, oh, are they going to do
Will they
it? Are they
kick
going to
it?
kick it around? Come on, kick it around. But no, they didn't kick it around. I was like, oh, come on. It's like I was like, oh,
That would have been fun if they did like in the old Godzilla movies where they're throwing rocks.
yeah,
So it would have been cool if they toss the head and then Godzilla looks at it and then tosses it back or something. Might have been fun.
yeah. Because at one
But
point in the fight, they are in sort of like this little green park of Hong Kong, like this little green area. It's not very big,
yeah,
but they're standing in like this clearing. I thought,
yeah,
okay, you guys got some room there.
yeah. Now I can
You
kick
got
it
some
around.
room. Come on, let's go. But
Yeah,
yeah, that was fun doing. I'm actually not. I actually don't have an April Fool's Day thing planned for this year
for
because it's
this
like
year.
just been busy covering the actual news rather
Yeah,
than the
yeah.
make-up news.
Yep.
But yeah, that was fun. That was actually fun to do the April Fool. Again, that lets you know it's been so long that we've been waiting for this
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, so I think another thing I wanted to say like that was cool, but I wished if they could have done like they took the head off and Kong fought he won, but then Mechagodzilla still,
Hmm.
still in fighting mode and then Godzilla takes out the body. I think that would have been a nice ending if I were directing the film.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
then both of them gets the victory trophy, I guess. Because I kind of wish because in this film, like in this ending, like it seemed like Kong won against Mechagodzilla, but Godzilla, kind of lost on Mechagodzilla here because he was just on the ground. I would have liked it if both Kong and Godzilla, like kind of took Mechagodzilla down
Hmm. Well,
at
I
the
think
very
they.
last scene.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, they both had nice moments. But
Yeah,
yeah,
they
so then it's
did. Yep.
over, and then it looks like Kong does submit to Godzilla.
Yeah,
Then he
he
drops the
drops the
axe.
axe.
Yeah, decides
So
okay, so yeah, yeah, he's submitting to Godzilla. Godzilla's the alpha,
yeah,
and then so
but
Godzilla swims
yeah, I
away.
mean. Yeah, again, that was fast. I thought like Kong drops the axe, Godzilla would do, maybe look at him some more. So we get some scenes, you look them eye to eye or something, and then maybe they'll like maybe not shake hands, but like kind of do some nod or some kind of like agreement. Okay, like Kong shows that like he's submitting, not just dropping the axe, like maybe a little more emotions from the eyes or something.
Yeah, I had a
Uh,
handshake in my April Fool's Day
yep.
summary. It's like yeah, I had
Yeah.
him shaking hands. I
Yeah, I
thought,
mean, yeah,
yeah,
they could have done that too, just like Jet Jaguar and Godzilla from the another throwback. But I guess they try to keep it more, um, make it flow faster and maybe a little more realistic. But yeah, just like traditional Godzilla movies, Godzilla just swims away, which is fine. I kind of, it just felt really fast. This movie,
oh yeah,
like
yeah.
all the fight scenes felt fast.
But it's kind of nice
So
that Kong gets to go then live in Hollow Earth with
yeah, so
Gia,
that's
and then
fun.
Monarch, and then
Yep.
Monarch is there hanging out with
And
them too.
yeah, if I read somewhere, I think they're continuing the MonsterVerse with an animated Kong
Hmm.
on Netflix. So
Yeah, I think that
looks
might be a
like
prequel though, because I think that's supposed to
that's a
be Kong
prequel.
on Skull
Oh,
Island.
that's Skull Island, not Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Either way, it'll be fun. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Like it looks like Legendary and Warner Bros. Don't have they're losing the copyrights to Godzilla as of now, but I'm really hoping they can pick up the license again and continue the MonsterVerse because I think this film is doing very well
Oh yeah.
internationally and I think domestically, right? I haven't really seen the numbers
Yeah,
yet,
we
but
don't know. Yeah, we don't have domestic numbers yet, but I think it's expected to do well.
yeah,
And
and
yeah, it's doing very well internationally, especially
yeah, yeah,
given the state of the world.
yeah. Even with limited like theaters opened, I think it's doing quite well.
Yeah, so this
Especially
is I think as of now, there's no announcement of any other MonsterVerse movies.
nope,
But the hope is, but yeah, as you said, the hope is that this one does so well that they decide to make more. Because
yeah,
yeah, even if contracts are ending, I mean, they could always make new
renew them,
contracts.
right? Yeah, new
Yeah,
contracts,
yeah, oh
and
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. But it's sort of yeah. But I kind of hope, yeah. So I'm kind of hoping for more MonsterVerse movies, but I also want Toho just by themselves to make more Godzilla movies too, because I really like Shin Godzilla.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
For me though, I like Toho. The only thing is the recent Toho films. Like Shin Godzilla is good in its own way, but again, I want more suit man in suit movies. If they're gonna do CGI, I want Godzilla move more. Shin Godzilla was great, but he like I think I mentioned in a lot of past videos, he doesn't move much. Like if he used his tail more, it would have been funny. He has such a long tail, like
yeah.
you could use that. And then the animated Netflix films, Godzilla Earth, like he's so stiff, he doesn't move. And I'm worried. Singular Point I haven't seen. I think you saw the first episode. I'm gonna watch it probably tomorrow. So Singular Point Godzilla I haven't seen in action yet, but I'm hoping he's more active and
Yeah, we'll
they
see.
can use the full abilities of animation
Oh
to
yeah, yeah. So
bring
yeah,
it to
so in
life.
this movie, Godzilla versus Kong, we did get a lot of again, we get
Yes,
a
we
lot
get
of
a lot
action,
of
a lot of
action.
movement.
Yes, and that's what I want to see. Like if you have the animate, like you have the 3D ability, you have the animation, depending on which way you're going, 2D or 3D, you can do a lot with it. But if you're gonna make a stiff Godzilla, at least go back to Suitimation. Like Suitimation, you can still get some like punching and some like fun moments and miniatures. I want to see miniatures.
Summing up, this movie has great fights and a lot of them. In a lot of ways, I think this is the movie, this is the right movie for our times that we've all been
Oh
cooped
yeah.
up for a year.
Yep.
And
Yeah, it's been
it,
a gloomy year. I think this movie had lots of bright lights, lots of action.
yeah,
A
it's been
pretty,
a,
pretty fun story, I think, overall. Like a lot of fun vehicles and fun monsters. And, you have your two favorite characters, Godzilla and Kong, so you can choose your side and see them go at it. And, and then of course there's that special Mecha Godzilla, I think is one of the popular characters. So I think a lot of fans will be excited to see Mecha Godzilla in a modern day, full CGI era. Have full reign
oh yeah,
on
yeah, as
the
you say, it's like, yeah, it's been a dark, gloomy, heavy year.
a year
So
and a
here,
half now, right?
yeah, yeah.
So
So here's some nice light entertainment, lots of
fun,
action,
yeah,
a lot of fun. So I think this is the sort of movie everyone wants to see
yeah, and it
right now.
seems like that's what's happening around the world. Like people who are fortunate enough that are no longer in the situation that we're in. Like they're going into the theater, seeing the movies. And then for us statewide, it's on HBO Max, so you can stream it right to your home TV, and you can watch it as many times as you want. So that's pretty fun.
Oh yeah, and it's
Um,
fast, and again, as you said, it's an amazingly fast-paced movie.
yeah, and
Like
it
really keep.
definitely, yeah, it keeps it moving and it gives you a chance to keep watching it, so you catch all the scenes and find all the Easter eggs. I named a few that I caught, but maybe there are a couple more, so you can leave some comments in below if you found anything that maybe we missed from our first run.
Oh yeah, yeah. So it left me wanting more. So in terms of the monster verse movies, I think this actually is like the best one of the. I guess there's four of them.
Yep.
Best of the four. I
Yeah.
don't know how you feel about it.
So how I feel because I'm, more of Team Godzilla here. I did like this movie a lot, but I still feel the 2019 movie felt more to my heart. Like it had the classic Godzilla themes, which was absent in this film. The Mothra song, which was a beautiful rendition. And you get to see, was it four of the main Toho monsters: Mothra, Rodan, Godzilla, and King Ghidorah. And this film, you have the two main monsters, Godzilla and Kong, but unfortunately, there was no secondary monsters that, sorry, Mechagodzilla was one of them, of course, the main villain. But, there was just the three. It would have been nice if, like, maybe some cameos, like even if they don't do anything, they're just like in the background for a quick second or something. That would have been fun. So there's missing that. It's missing the music. The music was good. So let me talk about the music. So music was good, but it didn't have the classic theme songs. And I think in the 2019 movie that there was a lot of different. I think the music seemed like there's this movie, like the music's kind of like the same tone. For there's just like a lot of like hum and stuff,
Yeah, I
but
thought
like
it was good. Yeah,
it was good.
I
It
thought it
fit
was
it
good. It's
fit
not
this
as good
film.
as like the classic ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's not something you'll like remember, but definitely it fit this film well. So unlike the 2014 movie, like that one I really can't remember the music from it at all. And then the 2019 film, like there's the music was so well done by was it McBarry, right? McBair. Uh, but anyways, but he he did such a good job like making all the music flow and tie in some classic cues. This movie, was it Tom? Oh, I'm so bad with names.
Oh yeah, I've seen I saw his name online, but
Yeah,
yeah, he was. I think he's the same.
Junkie XL is his I think his nickname.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
the same guy. He actually did the music to the Snyder cut of
Yeah,
Justice
yeah,
League
yeah.
too.
I think he has a good resume. He does a lot of high budget movies. So like, it just felt like those Hollywood song, like Hollywood like music. So it fit the film well. Like I'm not gonna say it was awful or it was off. It fit the film very well. And but being a Godzilla film, I feel like the classics theme, if he could have incorporated even just like a tiny little bit, I think it would have been such a nice touch to it. He made it all original, which is cool. It's good. There's nothing really bad about the music. It just felt like it was all the same throughout the movie. There was not a lot of like
Hmm.
changing of
Yeah, well,
the
I did
music.
notice. Well, the one change I did notice was in some scenes it goes to a synthesizer, which yeah
Okay.
evokes the
Yep.
1980s. So I did notice that.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, but otherwise it's like yeah, it's sort of like the same kind of like monster themes
Yeah. Yeah.
repeating, which I thought they
Repeating.
were good. I thought
They
they
were
were good,
good, but not. It
but
was
yeah,
good,
it's
but not
not
great.
classic. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So
yeah.
it's maybe after I watch it a few more times, maybe I'll start liking it more. So for me, if it's if you're rating it from a 1 to 10 scale, it's a solid 7 for me. I think I still feel the 2019 movie was definitely was more Godzilla. This one I think had a little more Kong focused, which is fine. I think Kong fans out there probably love it. I know you love this film, and I think it's still really good. It's still really good. So if I had to rate them, I would probably put Godzilla King of the Monsters first, and then Godzilla versus Kong, and then the other two.
Oh, no, I think this is my favorite of the
Your top
four.
one,
I'd give
right?
it like an eight
Okay,
or a nine. I'm not
there you
sure.
go.
Wait and see. Because
Yeah,
yeah, I like the fact because I like both Godzilla and Kong, so I
yeah. So
thought they
you
were
like
both.
both of them? Yeah.
Yeah, I like them both, and I thought they were both. Like Kong has a lot of emotion, which is what I like about him, and
Yeah.
Godzilla was angry, so I liked like that about him. So I was
One thing we didn't talk about is Sarazawa's son. Like he
yeah.
didn't really have a role in this movie. Like they could have done so much for him. Like we know that he's angry at Godzilla, but they never explored it. They just kind of just like, oh, he's
Yeah,
just following orders. And
most of the human characters I think are very forgettable. They're
yeah,
just there to like, I don't think kind of move the story along.
yeah.
But yeah, and Sarazawa's son in particular has like a very small role. He has almost no lines. He just kind of
And
like stands there for the
and
most
that's
part.
one thing. I think that's one thing I think they could have done so, they could have changed it a lot because he has a backstory. He should have a backstory. I think they should have made it, they should have focused on him as more of the villain, not the other guy, the Apex guy. Like maybe the Apex guy was funding the project, but I think they should have used Sarazawa's son as like the true villain. Like he wants revenge on Godzilla. This the CEO, maybe they should have made him like controlling the CEO, like being the true villain. He's just using him as the funding.
Hmm.
And maybe he has his own agenda. Like maybe he has his own agenda. Maybe the CEO of Apex was actually trying to protect against Titan attacks. But this Sarazawa guy wants revenge on Godzilla for killing his
Oh yeah,
father.
it's interesting. Oh yeah, yeah, it's interesting that the like Pacific Rim Uprising does have like a bit of a twist there about who the villain is, like
Yeah, yeah.
who the human villain is.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
something like that would have been nice. Oh, another thing is yes. So there was a lot of tie back to Pacific Rim. I feel like it looks like they're uplinking. Their Sarazawa's son is actually putting on this helmet thing, and they're using his mind to control Mechagodzilla. So this is a single pilot Jaeger instead of a two pilot Jaeger. So that's probably why they failed.
hmm.
That's why Mechagodzilla took over.
Yeah, oh yeah,
So yeah, there was a lot of throwbacks because in the first Pacific Rim, it was also in Hong Kong with a lot of bright lights, and they also used neural linking in Pacific Rim. So that's kind of interesting that they used a similar concept in for Mechagodzilla.
oh yeah. But the yeah, in terms of the humans, I thought the only yeah, I think the two humans that stood out to me were Gia.
Yep.
Yeah, Gia, Kong's
Yeah.
friend,
Yep.
and Bernie, the
Bernie. Yep. Conspiracy
conspiracy
theorist.
theorist. Because I thought
Yes.
that
Yes.
actor, because I thought he
He
was
did great.
yeah,
Yeah.
actor did a great job, and I thought it was he was an interesting character.
Yeah.
Like all the rest of them, to want just for the most part, I thought were like just like very forgettable and interchangeable, like
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
very
They didn't.
generic.
Yeah. They're very. Yeah. And you don't really. Um. Yeah. There's not much to follow them. Like you had more. I guess you would. You definitely want to focus on the two characters you just mentioned. And
Yeah.
the other ones are just like whatever.
Yeah, but again, I didn't mind the fact that again, so because it was a fast-paced movie, and I
Hmm.
didn't mind the fact that I thought the humans were like good, character role, human parts of it, parts of the story were actually good enough. I thought it was better than a lot of like Godzilla movies. A lot of
Yeah.
Godzilla movies, it'll just stop dead. It's like, okay, here's a few minutes of Godzilla, now let's
And
just like
then
stop
switch
dead,
to humans looking
switch
at
to
a
the
screen.
humans completely, and yeah, and then just everything just grinds to a halt. Where
Yeah.
that's like they're just in a room talking about
Talking for an
Godzilla,
hour.
yeah, until finally Godzilla shows up again. So this one, it's like, yeah, stuff's going on. It's
Yeah.
like everybody's like doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I did like the fact. So I think it is kind of yeah, even though I would have liked liked it more, liked even more. I think it was good that the movie was fast paced. Maybe it probably
Yeah.
is good that left us wanting more.
Yeah. See, for this one, like you had the human characters following Kong the Hollow Earth. So this movie was all about humans following Kong. In the 2019 movie, the humans were following Godzilla wherever he's traveling. He's traveling Antarctica to Boston. So I think here, like, I wish they had maybe they made the two teams a little more. Well, I guess like Madison's team was kind of following Apex, so like maybe like Monarch should have followed Godzilla more. They didn't really show that.
Hmm.
I kind of wish they maybe had a little bit of that. But I think like Sarazawa's son being, Sarazawa was like from the 2014 movie, 2019 movie, like he had such an important role in the two movies. And his son, I think, should have been another important character. And I think they really dropped the ball on that. There was so much they could have done, which was, he was that character was pretty much useless. Like you could replace it with any character. It doesn't have to be Sarazawa's son. It's the same movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, I wish I do wish the fights were a bit better. So again, I
Hmm.
thought the fights were very well done, and it was the
Yeah.
type of fight I like. But
Yeah.
maybe I think I'm still like I maybe have unrealistic expectations. I still think the best giant monster fights are in the original 1933 King Kong,
Hmm.
and I think no one's like matched that
Top that.
to this date. And
Yeah.
then actually, I think I really like the fights in Kong Skull Island. I think that's
Yeah, that
actually
was
my
pretty good.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's my second favorite of the MonsterVerse movies because of those scenes. Like when Kong is like fighting the helicopters, and then
Mm.
just his other fight scenes, I think are really well done. I
Yeah.
think that, and again, I think that's a case where I think a lot of the rest of the movie was, I thought was a bit forgettable.
Yeah, for
Uh,
me, like I think if you're
but
looking for a monster, like all out monster fight, I think Destroy All Monsters was really
yeah,
fun for me. Like there's so many monsters going at it. King Ghidorah was just getting beat up. I think Gigan was a fun movie. Like you'll see four way fight.
yeah,
And
and
then
part of it,
GMK was great.
and also my memories might be like unrealistic. It's like my memories of watching Destroy All Monsters and some of these classic movies as a kid
Yeah.
was that I liked the fight so much. I think if and I have more recently gone back rewatched Destroy All Monsters, and I
Hmm.
think I do like the fight. That's good, but I think it like watching it as an adult, I also think it's too short. I think it's
Hmm.
too short, and I wish it could have been a bit better.
Yeah.
Because part of the trouble there was like that as cool as Ghidorah is as a villain, it's really hard to get him to do much in a fight
Yeah,
because
he
it's
only
like
has the energy beams.
yeah, because basically he can't because he's a puppet. He can't really do a lot. He can't
Yeah.
really do a lot in a fight.
Yeah, but
Uh,
in the 2019 movie, he put up a good fight against
oh yeah,
Godzilla.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But the
But yeah, and then I think GMK that was a pretty good fight scene with Baragon, Mothra and Godzilla. And I think the Mecha Godzilla movies, like all of them had good fight scenes. Um and I think actually another movie that's not from the Godzilla universe is probably the Gamera Heisei movies. I'm not sure if you've seen them yet, but those are really well done. And for an aerial battle, in Gamera 3, like I love the CGI back then 1999. That was like it was super amazing. Like the aerial fight scene between Gamera and Iris was just phenomenal.
hmm.
um yeah, so highly recommend checking those movies out if you get a chance. Heisenberg.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I just do want to talk a step back because actually, because yeah, this is sort of because yeah, as far as we know, this is the last MonsterVerse movie,
for
and it all
for we don't
started
know when. Yeah.
yeah, it all started in 2014, and I'm feeling a bit nostalgic because actually I
Yeah,
started
that's when
this
your
channel.
channel, right?
Yeah, this
Yeah,
YouTube channel that everyone is watching with us now. That's when I started it. I started it
with
to
the
cover yeah,
Monsterverse,
to
right?
cover the 2014 toys. I was like driving all over Massachusetts, like trying to find these toys.
The one
My
in the back right there, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially
This
this guy
guy.
in the back. It took
It's
quite a
your
while.
favorite.
Took quite a while to find him.
Yep.
And yeah, my wife was wondering, what on earth are you doing? And then I ended up filling up and when I finally did find them, I kind of went overboard. I like bought tons of them and like filled up our
Oh.
dining room with them. But I kept the receipts. I didn't actually end up keeping them all
Oh,
because
you
I
should
kind of bought.
have. You should
I should have
have.
kept more of them.
You should
Yeah.
have.
But it's like I actually have like lots of. Yeah, I actually have four of this guy,
Oh,
like
excellent.
this guy behind me.
Yeah.
Two of them still in the still in the box. Like two
Yeah.
of them still in the shipping box,
There you
just
go.
ready to go in case I need them. In case anything happens to this guy behind me.
Yeah, and
But
if any of our viewers have an extra 2019 version of that guy, I skipped out on him, and again, I think nowadays I regret a lot of items I skipped. So let me know if you have an extra.
But yeah, so it's been quite the journey here. It's like yeah, starting
Yeah,
out buying the cover
from
reviewing the
2014,
2014 toys
Skull Island.
to now. And
Yeah,
what's fun is that I do read the comments, and some people point out it's like oh some people point out and I
started.
recognize them that
Yeah,
they've been watching the videos from the very beginning and writing comments and yeah it's it's rather touching that people have stuck with the
stuck
channel
on
and
for such a
yeah
while.
kept with it.
Yeah, we really thank you guys that you're supporting us by subscribing and watching our videos.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think you
so
brought me on in 2016 when we first met at the Shin Godzilla premiere.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
so
yeah,
yeah.
so Heisenberg, thank you for bringing me to be able to share my collection and talk about all things Godzilla. Like, as as a Godzilla fan in Massachusetts. At the time, like Godzilla was never really a big thing. Like going back, like it was hard. Not one, like growing up, trying to collect, saving up for everything, and then two, finding the stuff is hard. but it's changed so much over the years, and the I think the MonsterVerse really like restarted everything. Like Godzilla became more mainstream now, and thanks to Heisenberg, being able to meet with me and inviting me onto this channel, like I'm able to share my passion with everyone. And I think actually, in a few, maybe on our next video, we're actually moving on to potentially the next step towards my dream. Like we're actually bringing Godzilla products from Asia over here. So I think it's really cool. Like, I'm doing it for mainly for the community. Like, we're not gonna be making much off of it. But it's just gonna be trying to get our feet wet, trying to bring over something really special that you can't really find, and making it easier access to, at least the North American market, to help out our fans and our viewers.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's yeah, yeah. It's great that as the channels progressed, that I got to meet Chief Forever. Turns out, yeah, we got. It was very fortunate. Turns
Oh
out
yeah,
that we live close to each
yeah,
other. I actually drive, pretty much just drive by
drivable.
his house. Well, back when I was going to
Yeah, when
work
you're working,
at the
right?
office, when I
Drive
was
by
going to
every
the
day.
office, it's like yeah, I was
Pass by
driving,
every day.
yeah, driving by his house every day.
Yeah.
And yeah, and Chief Forever, it's great that he can provide the historical context of a lifelong fan and lifelong collector. That so that when we so again when we talk about Mechagodzilla, G Forever can point out it's like oh there's this whole long tradition of black
Black
Mechagodzillas,
Mechagodzilla.
and not
Yeah.
only does he know about it, but he actually owns them
I
all. He
have
owns,
them.
yeah, he owns all of the Black Mechagodzilla toys. And not only does he own them, he actually knows where they are. He can like walk into the other room
Oh
and
yeah.
grab them and lay them out on the table. Here they are. Here's all of them. And side by side, I can tell you
Yeah.
which one everyone is and the differences between them. And then
Even
and
the tiniest paint like instead of the M being was it orange and blue, it's just black on the other one.
oh yeah, 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 and then we can and then we can bring that, and this can inform the present day because it's like, well, and here's the brand new one that just came out,
Yep.
so
Yeah.
we can show you that
The
this is
Vinny mates,
yeah that
right?
this didn't come
Yeah.
out of the blue. There's a whole tradition to it, and so
Yeah.
this is the only place. Again, this is the only place I think on YouTube where you're gonna see like all the like Black Mechagodzillas together and find out like the whole history of it. So yeah, very grateful to G Forever for
Yeah.
yeah being a part of the channel and bringing so much so
Yeah,
much
thank
more to
you.
it.
Thank you, Heisenberg. Yeah, it's a pleasure like working with you and this awesome partnership. And like I said, like it's so nice. Like I was a very quiet kid before, like very shy and really kept to myself. Like everything I had to do, I had to work really hard for and strike at it. But I really did everything behind the scenes and just like even online, like I don't in the forums, I'm always watching the forums on Monster Zero and all, back when before Facebook and all, but I've never really like interacted until coming onto this channel after Shin Godzilla. So it became more sociable and being able to like talk more about things I love, and it's so fun to share everything with you guys. Like otherwise, it's just here, and only I can look at it. But now I can show Heisenberg. We can talk about it. We can show the rest of the world, and everyone can see for themselves. Like is this the Jet Jaguar you want, or what do you think? Like how do you what do you think of this Megalon here? And we can talk about everything and go into the details. So it's really fun to be able to do this.
Oh yeah, yeah, and again, very grateful to, like I said, to the fans that are like out, out there watching our channel. So yeah, we really strive to be a, a good source of news and also a fun source of news
Yeah, we try.
for this stuff. Yeah, we try to really like go, we really go all out to try to like track down every little detail,
Yeah.
and then yeah, try to present it in a fun way, uh, so that we can all enjoy this stuff together.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even though Godzilla is mainstream, it's still not like to the Marvel extent yet. So it's even though it's much easier than before, it's still it's still tough to find some stuff, and that's why I'm working out with a partner out in Asia, and we're trying to bring this new line of really cool stuff that you probably can't really find here, or it'll be very hard to get over here. So we're trying to make it easier for everybody, and so everyone can enjoy all this really cool stuff,
Oh yeah.
for all the Godzilla fans and collectors out there.
And I was thinking back too. I was wondering, it's like because it seems like for Godzilla versus Kong, it's been particularly intense trying to track down the
Yes.
toys. So I
Yeah.
looked it up. Like the first toy was revealed in July of 2020.
Yep.
So it's been like a long time that we've
Almost a
been chasing
whole
after these
year,
things.
right?
And yeah, yeah, it's been really, but it's been a lot of, it's actually been a lot of work.
It
Like really trying
has,
to like find,
especially the past few weeks. Like
oh yeah,
we've been pumping out videos left and right. We have a backlog of videos actually. There's a lot of non-Godzilla vs. Actually, there are some Godzilla vs. Kong that we still haven't, shown. I filmed everything. We're just need some time to
oh yeah,
to
yeah.
put it together.
Yeah, we actually got like yeah, a lot of news in the works that it's
Yeah.
things have backed up. There's been so much
There's
news.
so much going on.
But
But yeah, there's a lot of X Plus stuff, some Bandai Premium stuff, and Mondo has some stuff on the way, and we have some, other things. So Defo Reels, there's a lot of things. So, keep checking our channel. I just revived my Instagram. I got a new account. Somehow Warbat screwed up my original account.
yeah, I don't
So
I'm still not convinced it was Warbat, but I don't know what happened. But something yeah, something happened. But
yeah,
yeah, G Forever
I've
has a new yeah, Instagram account.
yeah, so I've been trying to show some sneak peeks at some of the stuff that we have filmed, that we're just working on getting it out there. We also have a really cool special where we're showing off four of the gigantic Shin Godzillas, four of the five, and we've brought on some other collectors out there. So we're hoping to get that video. There's a lot of fun stuff we're trying to do, a lot of cool ideas, and hopefully we continue to do this, like just to bring a lot of cool stuff and be able to share everything with everyone.
Oh yeah, and I wanted to give some advice, see what you think too, because I'm curious. Because often what happens is that like something like a movie like this, like kids will go and watch it and they'll really enjoy it, and then maybe like 20 years later, now they're grown up and they've got jobs, and they'll still like they'll think back very fondly of like this movie, and then they'll
Yes,
decide is like I really like that movie. I want to get the toy for it. Like I want to, maybe I had the toy, but then I like
I
I played
played
with it
with
so
it,
much it got
broke it
destroyed or it
apart.
got
Yeah,
lost, or maybe there was a toy that I wasn't able to get when I was a kid and I
that
want to
I've
get it
always
now.
wanted. Yeah,
So yeah, so often
out
the
of yeah,
so I'm curious. So I've been wondering. It's like I think about this. It's like so of all the toys we've seen, like 20 years from now, which ones are going to be the ones that people like decide is like I want to get that toy. And I think I think a few things. One thing is I think it's like the I'm not exactly sure. I think the most impressive
yep.
ones are like
The
the mega
the mega
ones because they
figures.
have light, sound, and 13 inches, and they're really well done. And
Yes,
especially the
and
Godzilla.
screw hole covers,
Oh
screw
yeah,
hole
yeah, yeah.
covers.
Especially the Godzilla. So my guess is like the the Mega
Mega
Godzilla
Godzilla.
from Playmates with light, sound, and
Yep,
13 inches tall and the projectiles. I
yep.
think that's going to be the
That's a lot of
toy
fun.
that 20 years from now, like people are going to want that, and it's going to like sell for like big bucks.
Yep. But remember to take the batteries out
But
so
yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah. But
still
it's so
keep the electronics working.
so my advice to parents, if you're a parent and your kid, you've got a kid right now who
Is
like really
super
liked the
excited
movie.
for Godzilla versus
Yeah, if
Kong.
they really like the movie and you buy them that toy and they really like that toy, I would secretly, my advice is secretly buy a second one. Don't tell them. Take the batteries out because the batteries are going to like go bad at some point.
Yep.
And then like just put it in a box in the attic or someplace where
No, no,
hopefully
no,
they won't
not attic,
notice.
not attic.
Not the
Attic
attic.
will burn, will melt it. You
Well,
want to put it
melt
in
it.
the you'll put it in the basement or some or just hide it
Okay.
somewhere.
Yeah,
Don't put
hide
it
it
in the
somewhere.
attic.
Hide it somewhere. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Ideally in a nice climate controlled
Climate
environment.
friendly. Yeah, climate friendly
But keep it in the
environment.
box. Like take the batteries out, but keep it in the
Keep the
box.
box if you can. I think I strongly urge collectors out there. I know there's a lot of collectors that there's two reasons. Like one, there's space problems, and two, I guess they feel they're never gonna sell it. I think if you try to keep the box if you can, for me especially, I think the box is part of the collectible.
Oh
It
yeah,
holds its value, and I think it brings more value if you do end up reselling it.
yeah.
So yeah, I think for a parent, if you get that extra Mega Godzilla or another Godzilla versus Kong toy, try to keep the original
Oh yeah,
packaging if
yeah.
you
Oh
can.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Keep it. Yeah, keep it like. Yeah, keep it just as you bought it.
Yep.
Again, just take the batteries out. But then, yeah, keep it for like 20 years or so, or wait till your
Wait
kid's
till
like grown up.
graduated, yeah,
Yeah, grown up and out of college,
yeah.
and then maybe
Or
surprise
just
them.
starting maybe like their 21st birthday, or maybe even further, who knows,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or it's
whenever.
like, yeah, once they're like out on their own and they got their own job,
First,
and
yeah, maybe they get their first job,
yeah, yeah,
then
then I would
yeah,
like surprise them. I would like, yeah,
or
surprise
even on
them
their
then.
birthday, yeah.
Yeah, surprise them and give them give them that toy. And I think that's like that
That's
would
gonna
be a
bring back
great.
a lot of memories,
Oh yeah, yeah,
nostalgic memories.
yeah. I think that would be like a really great thing to do.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, Heisenberg. Like I never thought about that, but when it's time for me to have have a kid, I think that's definitely a great recommendation.
Yeah, yeah. And then what toys do you think will be the ones that like like the kid so like the 10-year-old watching the movie now and really liking it? Which one is he gonna want when he's like when he's in his 20s? So I
So
think
for yeah,
well yeah, yeah, well okay, that's so yeah, I think my first guess is like yeah, again, the Mega
the
Godzilla.
giants, yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah, the
megas, yeah.
Mega Godzilla.
I agree. I think the Mega Godzilla is really good. Mega Kong's actually pretty cool.
And if they
I
make
was
a
surprised
yeah,
if they
and they
make a
haven't made one yet. If they make a
Mecha Godzilla.
Mecha Godzilla, I think that one
Yeah,
too.
that one probably will be good. We'll keep checking out the channel. We'll see if they'll make if Playmates will make one. But yes, I think the Mega figures definitely really cool, especially the Godzilla. The Kong, seeing it in person, I'm actually pretty impressed with it. You can move the mouth. The battle axe is big. You do have a lot of good articulation. So I think both Mega Godzilla and Mega Kong are good to keep. And most likely, if they ever make a Mega Mecha Godzilla, that's probably another one that's gonna be. I think that's gonna be a big collector's item in the future. The giant figures are actually not bad if you can't find the Mega figures, because I know right
Hmm.
now they're hard to find. I'm not sure if it's gonna stay that way.
See,
Um,
I don't think I think the giant
at least
figures
the
are kind of
giant
like this.
Godzilla
Yeah, I think the giant ones are kind of in between where
in
I
between,
don't
yeah.
think they're quite as exciting. I actually would recommend like some of the
The
6-inch
smaller ones,
figures
yeah. I like the Heat Ray Godzilla a lot. The clear blue
because
back fins,
yeah,
and
because
also the
yeah,
Hollywood the Hong Kong battle one.
yeah, the 6 inches are really well done, really good
Yeah,
articulation, and also they're yeah, it's more likely that your kid is actually going to have those and like play
yeah.
with them as a
Play with
kid
them. Yeah,
and sort of like want and want to have them again as an adult.
yeah.
And
And they're also more affordable,
yeah,
and they're
yeah, yeah.
small, so you can actually pack them up somewhere, and they don't take up too much space.
So yeah, there I would get like the Kong with battle axe,
Yep.
like would be like one of the top ones, and then the 6-inch Mecha Godzilla,
Mecha Godzilla. Yep.
and of course my favorite, who I have back here still,
The Heat Ray.
yeah, like this guy, like the
Yeah,
Heat Ray Godzilla.
that's the one I think the kids will love,
Yeah,
and when they grow up, they'll really
yeah,
love
I
to
think they'll
see
like
that
it even
again.
more as an adult.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
Battle Axe Kong is good. I think the Hong Kong Battle Godzilla, I think will probably be a collector's item. I don't know if, as a kid if I will like that because the color's a little funky. But that's definitely more for collectors.
yeah, I think collectors
I
will want
feel.
that in the future because it does kind of stand out.
Yeah, it's different. It's very different. Like I think I'm really impressed with it. I'm just looking at it because I have it in a glass case. Um, also, I think collectors will like the Warbat. But I think seeing Warbat from the film with just a few seconds, I don't think I'm too excited for that one in the future. But as a collector, I think the Hong Kong battles figures and the Warbat. Um, but if you just want a second one for your kid for great memories, Battle Axe Kong, Heat Ray Godzilla, and the 6-inch Mecha Godzilla are definite wins.
Yeah, let's hope they keep making more movies and more toys.
Yeah,
We can
yeah.
keep going at it.
Yeah, we'll definitely be in touch. This is not the end of the channel. I think there's still a lot that's gonna come out, especially with toy news. Might have a little slowdown with the movie stuff, but we'll see. Like, Toho will pick it up again, and we have Singular Point. So I don't know if how many people saw the first episode, but we'll check that out. And if Heisenberg's willing, I think we can expand onto other tokusatsu like Ultraman, Kamen Rider, and other fun stuff like Garo or something. So
Yeah,
viewers
and who
out there, you
knows?
can make some comments below to see if there's anything you want us to cover.
Oh yeah, excellent. All right,
Yep.
so this is Heisenberg.
And G Forever, hope you enjoy Godzilla versus Kong.